Hi, this is Keith. I have gotten assigned, and I thought that's quite a notable and kind of a rare event that I thought I would record this, and it may be helpful for others that experience this, or even for myself as well. This is the last time this happened to me with trading bots would have been about a year ago. So for me, just based on kind of the volume of trading, which is not very high in my case, this is a pretty rare occurrence, kind of a once in a year kind of thing that does happen. Potentially, there's some maybe improvements I can make to this bot. This is a new bot that I've really only been running for a few weeks, so it could point to maybe an issue with this particular strategy that maybe needs some refinement. But anyway, let's deal with that today, and hopefully this is helpful. What I'm going to do is just show you, this particular scenario. So again, every scenario would be different. You're going to need to pay attention to the amount of risk that you've taken on when you've got an assignment, and potentially there may be margin calls, there may be other things that take place. So I'm just going to show you for this particular instance, in my case with my broker, what's occurred, to be helpful to others, hopefully. But again, it may not apply to you. So again, don't take this as a step-by-step how-to guide of how to deal with assignment, because each one is going to be quite different. I'll try to maybe speak to that as I go through. But anyway, just to give some context here, this is and this is actually quite important to understand. The kind of the size of the position that we're dealing with. Just kind of that kind of is important here when we get assigned. It could be adding some risk to our portfolios. Is something certainly we need to pay attention to. This bot is this is the Worldly Fifth Breed. It is a community bot. I've shared it. It's one that I've developed, but I've shared it with the community, and it's designed for very small accounts. So it's got an allocation here of $2,000. So it is, I mean, we're not talking a huge amount of capital that's at risk here. I've got 9 positions open. There was one closed yesterday, but at most right now with 9 positions, it's risking less than $600. So we can see these are very, very small positions. So it's probably a good example to share. It's not going to be something that is catastrophic. And again, my account's been able to absorb this assignment, and we'll take a look at that as well and just see what the actual outcome was here. But again, my max risk on this position is $69. This is XLF. That is the financial sector ETF, and this bot allows 3 positions to be opened of the same symbol. And you can see we did actually have 3 positions open concurrently. 2 with the same expiration, so 2 expiring this Friday, April 26th. And we've got one that expires the following week. And there's, just looking at the days in trade here, we've got 17 days, 15 days, 20 days. So they were staggered. They're not all open, right at the same time. And one of the restrictions that I have, when you open a position, you can set a criteria to say I don't want it to open a position if I have a position with this exact same legs, right? So you can see that I've got a 41.50 here, and that same expiration is a 42. Okay, so the one that was assigned is the deeper in the money one. So it's quite lucky, I guess, that I didn't have, again, multiple positions of that same expiration and same strike, because I might have been assigned on more than one contract. I could potentially have been assigned on 3 contracts. That restriction, I think, is allowing it to sort of stagger those trades out, and that's why they're not. It's also only opening 1 position per day. So again, it's spreading out those positions over multiple days, and that sort of, I guess, helped me avoid being sort of assigned on a larger position. Again, I still have a fair amount of risk in that 1 position. I do have. I took a loss on position that was closed yesterday, and the exit criteria here. Again, in days in trade, 17 days. So maybe there is some. Maybe I should have exited earlier. Maybe I need some sort of monitor to look at. How far in the money we were. This strategy, I thought just let it run as long as possible and exit it the week of expiration. So the only exit criteria here I have is to exit 4 days to expiration. And that's how I noticed that this position actually had a problem. So this one closed. You can see here, we got filled, and we filled it here for a loss here, but again, nowhere near our max loss here. Our max risk is $66, and we took a loss of $18. So That was really the design. That's the intended way that the bot is intended to work, and it should have closed this other position as well, but we can see it didn't. It's telling me I've got a wide bid-ask spread here. This is, again, I'm recording this after the market's closed, so that's some fake pricing that's happening just because the market's closed, and it doesn't have good data to use for that mid price to calculate that. But if we look at the actual trade here, yeah, at the time it was attempting to close the position. We had a very narrow bid-ask spread, so everything was working as normal. But the problem is, I got this error message. So I got an error message here, and I didn't notice that until today, right? This is occurring at 3:30 in the morning for me, and that's 30 minutes before the market closes. So this happens when I'm sleeping. I wouldn't have noticed this. And actually, this is just telling me that I've already been assigned. So I actually have been assigned several days prior as well, and I hadn't noticed that. I hadn't dealt with it because I did not know that I was assigned. Here's the error message, and this is the confusing kind of convoluted one. And even as an experienced trader, I had to look at this 3 or 4 times. And again, after I had my morning coffee, I kind of looked again and said, okay, what really happened here? So it's saying buy to cover order cannot be placed unless closing a short position. Please check your open position. So now that I understand it, it's actually somewhat descriptive. It's saying I don't have a short position. So buy to cover is like also maybe a buy to close. Some other platforms call that. It knows that this is a closing order. This is attempting to close an existing position. And so this is going to basically buy back that short credit spread, right? And so it's going to buy back the short strike and sell that long strike, okay? And it's saying here that it doesn't have a short position. So it's telling me that 42 put doesn't exist. Again, it doesn't give you that 42 here. You've got to kind of interpret that. But it's giving you just some general guidance. Please check open position. So it's telling me it's not a problem with the interface. It's not a problem with the platform or the trade. It really is a problem with just your position. It's saying that you're trying to close a position that doesn't exist is, I guess, the way to interpret that message. And for that, we're going to need to go to our broker platform and actually see what happens. So again, bot is working as normal. It's working by design. Unfortunately, it had a very kind of risky thing here, right? It's waiting 4 days to expiration. So the longer you wait, the longer you hold a position that's in the money to expiration, the higher your risk of assignment is. And we took a risk, and unfortunately, that is now something we're going to have to deal with. So here's my broker platform. This is a platform I never use. So this is Tradier. This is an account is only for bot trading. It's not something that I would ever. The only other time I've entered a trade through this platform was when I needed to deal with the last assignment that I had. And in this case, I may or may not use this platform to close it. We'll kind of come to that determination after looking at the what's actually happened here. But I'll probably try my hardest not to use this platform. Not to go off topic too far here, but this is of all the platforms that I've used, or even other platforms that I have friends that use and have some experience with, and I have kind of knowledge of pretty much most common, platforms used for options trading. This has got to be the most bare bones, the most sort of, limited functionality platform that exists. So in my mind, and I think their sort of niche market is integration. I've got probably 5 or 6 trading platforms that I use that all interact with Tradier. Not just trading platforms, but like backtest platforms and things that have kind of trade integration, or things like charting platforms. Some are trading platforms that have they make trade recommendations, and then you can execute those, or other bot platforms like Option Alpha. and they all interface with Tradier. I think only one of them interfaces with Interactive Brokers, which is my main account. So, in this case, I like using Tradier because it interfaces with everything that I use. It's an inexpensive platform because it's bare bones. They don't invest in their technology. There's no reporting. There's no even just looking at your P&L. I don't even know if they show your daily P&L anywhere. Um, no, I don't. I don't even think so. So it's. I mean, useless is probably too kind of a word. Yeah, useless is useless for manual trading, definitely. For interfacing with some other platform, there is a platform called TradeHawk, which I have downloaded. I looked at it and then I deleted it and just said I'm just not that it's not good. It's just that okay. Well, I'm going to make every effort I can to not execute trades on this platform, and I think it just took up some space on my laptop, so I decided to actually delete it because I do trading. I have a workstation that I have, and I also have a laptop that I travel with, and all of my sort of trading platforms need to be on that laptop. And unfortunately, Tradier platform didn't make the grade. I don't know if it took up a huge amount of space, but it was just, I've just come to the conclusion I would never use it. So that's my opinion of Tradier. And also, just to set the context to what I'm doing here, because I have no familiarity with the platform, maybe there's a better way to do what I'm doing, but I'm kind of clueless when it comes to actually how to interact with this platform. Like I said, this assignment is the only second time I've ever done it. So, and I've not practiced this. I'm doing this fresh for the first time right now. So back on topic here. One thing I did is I just sorted it by symbol, and we can come in here and we can see. This is another. I'm going off topic again, but my strong preference and strong recommendation to others is use a limited number of bots per account, and I'm a proponent of having multiple accounts. So this account has, I think, 3 bots, and you can just I know what they are based on the positions, the symbols that they're trading. All of my bots are trading specific symbols or specific watch lists, so they're all carefully selected. So just by that, I mean, when I look at this, I know exactly what position is what and which bot it's related to. So other people have made comments of, how do you know, like when you go in, like this assignment, right? Like, how would I know which position it is or even what bot it's using if I'm trading random symbols and trading, a large number of positions and a large number of bots in a particular account. So just sort it by quantity, because anything that's going to be assigned is going to be, an even number of hundreds, either a plus or a negative. But here we can see, just put our assignment up here on top. So if this were a small account, we saw my allocation is $2,000. So if I was really running this just in an account by itself with a $2,000 account, this would exceed my margin, capability, right? So I've got, purchasing 100 shares at $4,200 would have most likely resulted in a margin call. I'm not really sure what would happen in that case. So back to this one. So I found the one. Okay, I know that it is. Yeah, it is. It's not telling me, what the actual trade was. I guess I could go to activity, but I don't even know where to even find it. I guess I could search for XLF. There we go. It happened on April 16th. So when was that? Tuesday. That's a week ago. Probably, yeah, it would have been, it might have been the following day. So it might have been an assignment. Someone exercised their option on the 15th, and then it came through to me again. Those assignments are going to happen overnight, right? They don't happen during the day. That assignment would have come to me the following day. So yeah, it's been a week, and I did not notice. I did not know that my account was assigned, and I've been sitting holding this position. Yeah, we can see we were charged $9 as well. That's an assignment fee, and that's again another impact for a strategy like this, which is designed for a small account. That's a pretty huge fee to incur. So yeah, so I know exactly what happened now. Now I can tell. There are emails that are received, and I generally ignore those emails. Yeah, you can see it doesn't tell me what, it doesn't give me any information. Does it just says that you've been assigned. It doesn't tell me which symbol or anything like that. So, and this came the 17th. So that would be before the market opened on the 17th. Again, this is my local time. Um, So it's coming on a lag anyway. So it's you were it's after the fact, right? It's telling you were assigned. So don't think that there's something you could have done to prevent this. It's telling you here if you want to exercise your option. So I know that I do have a long put that's still giving me protection. So I may want to exercise that, and I guess that's what they're telling me here. I just reply to this email to Tradier brokerage service, and they'll take action on that for me. Okay, so now we know what happened. Now let's decide what we want to do with this position. This is the April 26th. So first thing I'm going to do, market is closed right now, but I can still do this, is just changing the status of it. You're just going to set it to override. And I could import back and I could act on this position. So maybe I want to import that. Is there any harm in doing that? Yeah, let's try that. So I'm going to some long positions here. So let's import our long put. XLF. So now this is where we need to pay attention to. So we have two. So we just need to make sure we pick the 41. That's the April 26th open price. That should be our open price, right? But I think that should be the price of the. Actually, I don't know what I paid. Yeah, I got to go back to my broker. Let's just check that. XLF, 33 cents. No, that's the last price. So yeah, it looks like 27 cents. That's our cost basis. That's what we paid. Now that maybe that includes some commission or something. No, it shouldn't. Why? Oh, 27 cents, same thing. Somehow I thought 33. This is just going to call this one. Just so I remember what it is. I'm not going to probably, I don't know if I'm going to close this with option alpha or not yet. Orphan put. Okay, so we've got that lonely orphan out there. And that's now going to be, if we refresh our positions, we're going to have this long put. Here we can see the risk graph, which is kind of cool. So we can see actually, if we sold that long stock position actually, and the market continues to go down, we could potentially profit from this. So there's a lot of things we could think about. Again, every position is going to be different. Do we want to import the long stock as well? Let's do that too. Equity. No equity positions found. Huh. I wonder if it takes, no, I've had that position for a week. Yeah. Okay. So I definitely can't act on the long stock position. So that, unfortunately, I'm going to have to use this horrendous platform, but that should be pretty easy, right? I think we just go trade. Yikes. Man, I don't OTO. I don't even. Oh, maybe I clicked advanced. That was too advanced for me. Advanced. It presents a bunch of just order class, order to open, order to cancel other, or something. Well, I don't know. I'm just guessing at what this means. Order class equity. Yeah. Wow. I must have clicked on advanced by mistake here. So I should be able to just pick on my positions and close, right? Yeah, here we go. I can do that. Again, market's closed, but let's just see what happens. It should, hopefully this won't do anything. Oh, there we go. Yeah, okay. My my requirements for a trading platform are pretty basic, so that's all I need to do. I'll do this. I could probably put in an order now to close at the open or something like that, but I'll do this when the market's open most likely, and I still haven't decided that I want to close this position. So let me look at that. Um, but that would be, you would just basically, we could, in here, we could actually close this position from here. We could actually close this position. Um, Now it's giving me a bid-ask warning. Again, this is after the market's closed, so this is some fake pricing that's happening there. And I'm not going to want to do this, unless the market's open. I'm going to want to know what the price is, and I probably want to time those positions to close at the same time. And maybe we'll come back to that one. So that'll be a follow up. Maybe I'll append it to this video. I'll record this now and then come back and show what the actual outcome was. But I do need to make a decision, right? I need to make a decision. I'm actually not sure how much I've lost on this position. Um, so what? Just maybe recap. What did we learn? We've learned that. Strategies can be risky when you're holding too close to expiration. So here, that this is 4 days to expiration, but that was really 7 days ago, right? So that is 10 days to expiration that we actually exited that or were assigned, um, and that I'm just surprised. So I probably need to look at a chart to see what XLF was trading then, and was I just really deep in the money and just didn't really notice, and maybe some additional assignment mitigation needs to be added to this bot, and um, when we're in the money, we need to definitely pay attention to those positions and give them some extra attention. Which, in my case, I probably should have been monitoring my account better or reading my emails better. But here, this is the overrid position here. I just noticed it because I wanted to make sure that this exit trigger took place, and I didn't think that it was going to have this particular error. I thought it might have a problem with sort of bid-ask spread, and maybe there wasn't liquidity to exit that position. So this is really where I noticed it was. I came in to just to see. I noticed the position hadn't closed, so I just wanted to see, and I fully expected to see something here that said, yeah, it was making multiple attempts and didn't fill. And then I got this warning message. I don't think this message. Maybe I need to check my email also to see whether I've got some sort of notification from Option Alpha that said I've got a rejected order. I don't know if that again. I was monitoring this one, so I caught it through the bot, which I think this is probably the best way, right? Is this is what I'm looking at for these trades. That's why again the Tradier platform. It's just something I only go in there once a month to just sort of make sure that my money's still there, kind of thing. It's not really anything that I have any real use for any of the information or anything that's presented there, and I just work entirely off of the Option Alpha platform for anything to do with that account. Certainly if I ignored that error message, if I ignored the bot, then yeah, I would have had a problem. Again, not necessarily in this case. It's most likely going to expire in the money. We can't see the risk graph anymore because it's overridden. But I think let's go take a look at the actual. What does my P&L look like currently? And okay, I'm going to use bring in another tool. So this is Option Pro, and this is. It has really a lot of advanced features, but really what I'm going to be using it for in this instance is just to plot a risk graph. So we want to plot our original trade, which we've kind of lost that now because I've actually overridden that position. But that little risk diagram that you see when you have an open position in Option Alpha. So I'm just going to do that. Create a risk graph here. Put in my symbol XLF. And we want a bullish bull put spread. Expiration is going to be the 26th. And just set my strikes here. 42 is the short strike. 41. One contract. And we're putting our fill prices, and then we're going to model it basically P&L exactly as we had it. So I know that we sold we bought the long strike for 27 cents, and our total credit here was 31 cents. So that means we had what 58 cents as a short strike. So there, and I wouldn't have to do this because, had I not overridden this, I've can see that information within Option Alpha. So I'm not doing anything new that I can't do in Option Alpha. It's just that I've lost that diagram, but we can still see that the amount of risk here, total risk is $69, and that's again the max risk here as well. Um, and the credit received $31. Again, everything's tying out here. So it's basically, I've just modeled that same position. And what I really wanted to do was, first understand sort of what's my kind of comparative basis, right? So had this position not been assigned, if I was still opening again the full position with the original short leg still, still in my possession, not taken away from me, um, I would. I would be down $47, right? So that's kind of my I guess my sort of basis for a decision here on how do I want to exit this trade? I want to get sort of $47 or better. This is I think most likely reflecting the closing price from Monday. Let me just draw, and it's going to be hard to see this here. So let me just see. Um, that is the current price of XLF currently here. Is this? Just going to kind of just draw the box to kind of that's $48.95. That is the current price, and it's bouncing around. So this is a live data feed. Even though the market's closed, I'm not sure why that price is moving, but it probably tells me that there's some. It shouldn't be any after hours activity, but there's some funkiness going on that's causing that to move because actually the price is changing. But anyway, that's we could see here we've let this position go pretty far in the money. So again, if we weren't assigned, we're closing pretty deep in the money position. Or certain our short strike is pretty deep in the money. What's the delta there? Is a 76 delta, right? And that's where our short strike is currently. And our long strike is right at the money. So that's telling me we kind of have 50% chance of being in the money most likely here, right? Here, yeah, you were saying about a 53% chance. Again, depending on what these prices are doing currently, how accurate they are. We saw some wonkiness, right? That bid-ask spread in Option Alpha. I'm not really seeing that here. Oh yeah, bid 32 cents and ask $1.24. So again, probably shouldn't be really relying on this information, but close enough. Okay, close enough. We'll assume that this is a real number. What I can do, so this tool allows me to save this view, right? So I've modeled this trade, and then I can save this, and then when the market opens, I'll just along with all my other positions that I'm monitoring, this is one that I'll pull up and again make a trade decision based on what this P&L really looks like. So this is as is. This is not as is as intended. I guess this was the position that it should have closed on end of day on Monday. Was exiting that position at a loss somewhere around $47. Let's assume that. Let's get rid of those lines here. Anything else that I need to say? And maybe just to highlight too, if we didn't, if you just missed that, because I just recognize that it's going to be kind of hard to see. But this line here, there's a crosshair, right? So there's a intersection point there. So this is the price of the underlying is on the horizontal axis, and then the vertical axis is my P&L. So it's plotting my P&L there, and I've just kind of used a color that you can't really see, but it's telling me that my P&L currently is $47 there. Yeah. Okay, so what I want to do, I'm just going to make a copy of this, and I'm just going to go into just kind of navigate through another screen to kind of get there. But so we now do we have two versions of this? Yeah, tile. What did I do differently here? They're the same trade. Yeah, okay, they're identical. Yeah, I thought I saw something different there, but no, okay. So we're going to take one and we're going to modify it, and we're going to actually make it look like our current position, right? So actually, the only thing that's changed here, if we hit edit spread, we need to add a stock leg. So now we're going to buy 100 shares, $42. That's the price that we paid for those shares because that's the strike price. So that's what we were assigned at in $42. Now that's drawn a kind of a funky diagram here. We need to also get rid of our a short leg, right? So that 41, sorry, the 42 strike doesn't exist anymore. So I'm actually going to add it, and I'm going to basically put in the transaction to buy back that 42 put, and just going to say that cost me 0, right? So I was assigned, so that then strike disappears. But what I've done here, so now I've included the cost of our assignment, so that the $42 for 100 shares, and I've included our total credit, right? That, what was it, 31 cents was our total credit, which is made up of the 27 cents and the 58 cents, a debit of 27 and a credit of 58. That's how we got to the credit of 31 cents. So this is what our position looks like now, right? We have a kind of a long position. We have risk to the downside capped at $69, and we have some upside potential. So this is the decision I need to make now. Do I want to now be in the business of holding long stock in my portfolio or in my Tradier account, or even do I want to just do that for a short period of time, because we can kind of see now. Actually, the other thing here is important to note too is, go back to my little highlighter if I can. Okay, so the position on the right is our original position had we not been assigned, right? So this is the P&L for that position is $47, a loss of $47. And the position on the left is our adjusted position now that we've, it's sort of as it stands in our account. We've got the long stock plus a long put option. And that's showing currently a loss of $30.50. I did notice here that we do have a pretty wide bid-ask spread, and that we saw that in option alpha. So this price may not be totally accurate. There could be differences too between these two because again we have a long stock here, right? So we've got basically a 100 delta, right? We've got basically a 100% versus what is it, a 78 delta is our short strike. So we've traded that sort of short option for a long stock, and we've actually held that stock for a while. So and the market's probably moved in our direction as well. So we've captured some additional, I guess, P&L in doing that. It just another way I think we could actually, if we go back to so we could just delete those drawings, and let's just go back to our original trade. So we just look at this trade that was rejected. It looks like it was trying to fill around 80 cents or so, right? So yeah, let's say we were trying to get filled at 80 cents. What is this going to do for our P&L here? This is got a credit of 31 cents, and if we buy it back for 80 cents, that would give us a profit of about $50. So yeah, so it's pretty close. It's close enough. I'm kind of surprised by that actually, but so yeah, that difference, I guess, the fact that we've got a better P&L now, it actually was good to be assigned, and that's just because it looks like maybe the market moved in our direction. Maybe if we just so yeah, we hit a low here. It looks like April 16th. 39.50, pretty big distance from $42. That's our short strike, and our short strike is set right at the money. So XLF would have had to been trading right at $42 when we entered that position. So I'm just guessing. It looks like we entered at March 28th or April 1st. It looks like. Yeah. So some investigation to do. I want to look at that, really how far, what delta would we have been at by that point, how deep in the money really were we on that short strike, and some risk of assignment logic definitely needs to be added to the bot. Again, this is a very rare occurrence that we got assigned here, but we've gotten unlucky, and it did looks like it worked in our favor. This recovery, so the fact that the price recovered, I'm guessing, I could be wrong, but I just think it's just we've performed better the new position just because we've now got 100% delta. So we're taking advantage of that move upwards, whereas our original position, just I think there's just a delta difference, right? It's a lower delta, and as the market rebounded and was moving upwards, that delta is decreasing. So it was advantageous, I guess, for us to have this assignment. Now, in terms of downside risk, now we have the exact same downside risk, and we have actually unlimited upside now, which is probably unlikely because well, I guess no, because there's a chance, right? We only have a kind of a coin toss chance of actually being assigned here, right? Because if we were to hold this position and maybe the market continues to move up, then we could continue to hold it indefinitely as long as the market keeps moving up, and yeah, we could still continue to have profits. So that's really what I want to highlight. That's what I'm using this tool for, is to just these are two different trades now, right? So now we've adjusted our trade by adding a long stock here, and we've exited been assigned on that short option. So it's a different trade now. Still same risk overall as long as we exercise that long option. So I haven't said that that's an option here, right? Because now given where we are, if we're only at a $32 loss, and I'm trying to do $50 or better, there's no way I would assign, right? I wouldn't, sorry, exercise. There's no way I would exercise my long option, because that's gonna lock me in. That's gonna guarantee me a 100% loss, right? So that would be a $69 loss. So yeah, I could be lazy. I could do that the easy way, and then cause problems for some other options trader that short this option, and then they're going to have to take assignment of my option, my single option here. But no, I'm not going to do that. And that's we do, right. We have unlimited upside, but also we do have risk, because this is just the view to expiration. So this trade, as it's modeled here, it's not going to look like this come a week from now, right? So when the market opens on Monday, the coming Monday, after that, this position has expired. One of two things are going to happen. I'm going to have a loss of $69, and I would have automatically exercised this long option and basically sold my shares for $41. So again, bought them at $42, sold it for $41 less my credit received would be that $69 loss. But if we get lucky, right? And I don't know if lucky is the right word in this case, right? Because if the market moves up, now we're not assigned. We're not going to be automatically assigned, and but we will still hold our long shares. So now we have a new position, which is again different than this, which is just be holding the long stock. I think I've done enough of an assessment that I've actually come to my decision. So before I share sort of that decision and what my action plan will be, just allow me maybe just to kind of review a little bit in terms of the process that I just went through. And I'm going to just share some kind of tips to leave you with. Should you find yourself in this situation in the future, is maybe something that you can call upon, to help you out. So first and foremost, definitely stay calm and don't panic. Hopefully you saw me being calm really throughout this entire process, but certainly when I first discovered that this had occurred this morning, there was some stress and some fear, right? Some oh my gosh, what went wrong? Why? And I'm all the possible terrible things that could cause could result is going through my mind, and that's obviously at a time when I hadn't even understood really what happened. So that's a normal part of the process, and there's financial implications involved, which adds to the stress. So just my advice is if you need time to just step away and and if you're not able to deal with it right away. Don't rush yourself. That's just going to add to the stress. If you feel like you have to act immediately, sometimes just stepping away and finding the time when you can deal with it calmly is kind of a better approach. And there's no reason to think that, all these worst case scenarios that you've heard about, all the possible terrible things that could go wrong with assignment would happen to you. So, just need to make sure. Hopefully, you saw as I dealt with this. I sort of went step by step to make sure I really understood what was happening, and hopefully I'm able to take action that's going to hopefully avoid bad things from happening. So just because you were assigned doesn't mean that bad things have already happened. Actually, most of those bad things are going to come from your reaction to it. So that's another thing to keep in mind as well. Take responsibility, and that's just an obvious one, right? The fact that you were assigned, it's a result of a decision you made to enter a certain position, and that position came with some risk. And you're also responsible to make sure you understand that risk, and that you understand sort of how you got there, and dealing with it. No one is really going to help you, certainly in this early phase, right? When you've just realized that you've been assigned. You saw me go through kind of a step-by-step process, and it might have been sort of confusing to watch. Why did I spend so much time to actually look at what the bot was doing, and look at the position in detail? Why didn't I just go to my broker and then just, find the trade that was assigned and just immediately close it? Like, I wanted to make sure I understood it before I actually took action, and even if I were to ask for help, and maybe, avoid that responsibility by calling in other people to help me out. Without those facts, they're not really going to be able to help me either. So those two things really go hand in hand, right? You're responsible for your decisions, and you have access to the facts that are required to kind of make the right decision. Before you decide, right, you need to just make sure that you've evaluated all of your options, and carefully weighed each, because they're all going to come with risks and potential costs as well. So, in my case, the easiest and I guess probably most profitable one for me is going to be to exit immediately. And you saw the process that I went through to do that. I was comparing against. What was the bot intending to do? It was attempting to close a position on Monday. So, had everything worked out without being assigned, it looks like that position would have been a loser, and it would have lost about $50. So I set sort of a comparison there of, if I could get, $50 or better of a loss, I'd be happy, because it's like for like, and it's obviously within the original intended sort of parameters of that strategy. So you didn't see me consider any sort of adjustments. I just don't really have enough time to expiration for any sort of options to be available to me there. But maybe holding it as a long stock position, it might be something. Maybe we could just close the short, close the long leg, and hold that long stock, again, outside the parameters of my strategy. Certainly from a risk and capital requirement perspective. I don't. It's a bot with a $2,000 allocation, and holding a $4,000 position is just not really feasible. Hold tight. We could just hold this to expiration, or hold with some other sort of exit option attached to it. In this case, I mean, you saw it's obvious that I can kind of exit without reaching my maximum loss on this position. And even this strategy as designed, it should never hit 100% max loss, right? That only could happen if you hold all the way to expiration, and none of these positions are really intended to, for the design of that strategy, are not meant to be held to expiration. So the only situation I would consider that here would be if I was near 100% max loss already, and it's just easier to just let the thing expire. We're far enough in the money that it's just let it close, and for the $5 or $10 maybe that you might make in a difference to try to close the position, and maybe to avoid the risk. Again, risk here I'm referring to. how you execute that closing trade could come with some risks, right? There could be a chance that things don't quite work out as intended, and you have maybe a wider range of potential profit or loss that you're gonna achieve by performing that particular exit, whether it's an adjustment or even exiting immediately. If you don't close them on a timely basis, maybe potentially you could have a different range of outcomes. Costs also, if we were to hold to expiration, now we're going to have another $9 sort of assignment and fee, right? So we don't want to exercise that option because it's gonna cost us another $9. That's just, again, my Tradier account. That's the fee that they charge. And certainly, of all of these different options, I picked the one that's kind of easiest for me as well. And again, that's just a matter of recognizing your limitations. So certainly, things like complex adjustments. If just because someone's recommended that you have some other alternate way to exit that trade, if you're not comfortable with acting on that, my suggestion would be just avoid it, because it could be, if executed improperly, could result in unintended consequences. In my case, you saw my sort of lack of experience with the Tradier platform, and it looks like I'm going to need to. I couldn't import that long stock position into Option Alpha, so I'm actually going to need to use that broker platform to make that closing trade. So I'm just acknowledging that that's something I'm going to need to be careful of. I'm not. There's potential I could make a mistake there because I just don't know that platform well enough. So it's something to keep in mind. And lastly, knowing your strategy. I think I mentioned this a bit here in terms of, my decision process here is, again, to make sure that I still conform with the original goals and parameters of that strategy. So, allocation is one parameter. So holding a long stock position, that's obvious, right? I don't have enough capital to be able to hold that long stock position as per the parameter that I've set for that strategy. A goal is also to take small profits and avoid significant risks. So that's in line with my decision to exit immediately as well. Okay, so now it's time to plan and implement. I've decided, right? I've now made a decision that I'm going to just close the position. Okay, so now we just need to make sure we know what the steps are involved to actually do that. And again, we need to stay calm here, right? This is where our stress level ramps up again, because now we need to do something that's maybe even unfamiliar, right? Maybe in this case, actually, this is a very rare occurrence for me. So, and I'm using some tools that I'm not that familiar with, right? So, it's going to be another sort of stressful process for me to do that. So stay calm, plan when you're going to do it, right? So in this case, I'm going to do it right when the market opens. I've kind of made that determination. Just a lot of that has to do with just because I've recorded this video, so I want to make sure that I get it out of the way, and then I kind of have some conclusion to this actual, video that I'm recording. If I wasn't doing it, I might take even longer. I might watch the market and depending on the direction of this particular ETF, if I think it's in my best interest to sort of hold it longer, then maybe I might do that. So don't feel like you need to rush, and don't feel, certainly if you've gotten assigned and you've realized while the market is open and you're kind of rushing to try to do it before the market's closed or something like that. Step back. That's part of that earlier assessment phase, is just make sure you know what the implications are, and then if you have time to act, then take that time, certainly. And I have to think that in most situations you're going to have some time in your favor to be able to act. Be aware of your limitations, right? So this is where it makes sense to seek help. So earlier I made a comment about you got to take responsibility, and that's not the time to ask for help when you're still trying to asking, what should I do, right? That's not the question to ask. But when you know what you want to do, and in this case, I've decided I just need to close the position, but maybe I'm not familiar with how to import that position into Option Alpha, or maybe I don't know how to execute that trade on the Tradier platform, which I don't have experience in. This is where you can call your broker and you can ask for help, or you can go to other forums or whatever to find help. But because you're asking a more direct question. Here's my details. I've got this trade. It's this position. Here's the platforms involved, and how do I do this? Right? It's a more of a how-to question than a what should I do question. Right? What should I do questions are not really things you want to ask. Support desk people or ask random internet strangers, those types of questions. Learn and develop. So lastly, obviously, when this comes to conclusion, I've got some learnings, right? Some things maybe I could do, some things better. I did look, so I did find Option Alpha did send me an email that execution trade had failed. So I've got some things I can do, and maybe I need to just maybe put some filters in my emails just to make sure that I have some alert or something that draws my attention to those assignment emails or any sort of trade error emails from Option Alpha. Or maybe there's some things that I certainly can do in my strategy, adapt the bot to make sure that it just avoids this altogether. So and learn again. If I made a mistake because I wasn't calm, I mean those are things I've learned in the past. So some of what I've just mentioned now are past learnings that I've kind of taken into account and sort of reinforced in sort of my day-to-day actions and day-to-day trading. So hopefully that's a bit of a lesson there. That's the trainer in me kind of coming out, and let's get on. I'm going to basically pause this now, and we're going to come back as hopefully will be a recording of me actually executing this trade. Okay, the market's about to open. I did try to re-import that long position, long stock position, and I couldn't do it within here. So I've got my broker dashboard open, and I can make the trade there, I guess. Let me just get the trade set up. What do I want to do here? Find it, X. There we go. Close position. I want to do the options position first. This one, my long put. It's the one that I tagged orphan put, so, and I can tell I don't have any other positions like this, so that one's just set up, ready to go. Just waiting for the market to open. I've also got my, this is the original position, just comparing the price, so it's again still got the same prices, although this one has bounced around a bit. It's saying a loss of 38.50, so it looks like I'm going to have to act fast if I want to beat my $50 loss profit target, stop loss, I guess we'll call it. Just one minute before the market opens. Yeah. And I'm looking at a chart. Actually, let's look at a 3-minute chart here, just to actually just be able to see what the market's moving. And the market is open now. And wow, we gapped up. Holy cow. That's XLF. Wow. So I'm now, but I'm still down on this position, down $42. So I want to get rid of that short put, I think. So the short put is actually what's gone against me. So that's priority to close if we are moving up. I just want to see what the next candle is going to be, though. Yeah, it's moving pretty fast. I guess we can go here and just say, what did I want to do? I want to do fast. I'm just trying to time the direction to see where I'm going. I'm just watching the price of my current position overall is like a loss of $42. So um, the challenge here, I mean, the timing between closing. So one position is going to be a bearish position, right, our long put, and one is going to be a bullish, right, our long stock. So um, if the market's moving quickly and we have a delay in between those, we potentially can capture either extra profit or extra losses. And so I just want the market to kind of stabilize a little bit here. Down 45, 50, so it's going against me, it seems. 45 bucks. I'm not patient enough. Let's just hit that trade. Let's see when that fills here. Sending it filled at 27 cents. Wow, okay. Let's go to my broker here. Close positions. XLF, what do we want to do? Market order? Limit order? Oh, it's going to ask me for a mid price. What's my mid price? 40.98. Preview is required. Okay, so I've never done this before. Filled. I probably should have just done a market order. I don't even know if that was a good price. Yeah, that's what I'm seeing. 40.97. I'm just watching the prices there. Yeah. Okay. Well, now we need to do our math, right? So we got out at 40.98. So I guess I just need to do the calculation, right? Okay, let me pause. Okay, I put it in Excel here just to make sure I got it right here. Just double check everything. So for the long stock, we purchased it at $42, right? That was our short strike, and we sold it for $40.98. So we took a loss of $102 just on the stock position itself. We sold the long, the 41 put. We sold that for the same price we bought it for, so we got that. That was basically a net zero, and we were able to keep the credit received. Right, we got a credit of 58 cents for our short strike. So our net P&L is $44, a loss of $44, and that's right now it's saying a loss of 39 to 40. So yeah, maybe I exited a little too early. If we look at the chart here. Yeah, the chart probably I sold a little bit low here, but again, I'm just glad to be out of the position, and I met my goal, right? I wanted to get better than what it probably would have closed for on a Monday afternoon. It looks like it was attempting to close a position for what was it? 50 bucks, right? Was I think what we saw there. So I'm good. I'm out of this position. My P&L is going to be a little bit off here. So what's it going to say here? So this is the original position. This is the position that I overrode. So what I'm going to do is just edit this one. I'm going to put in a closing price here. So this I wanted net. So we had a loss of $44, right? That was our net loss overall. So if I put in 75 cents here, less the credit received, 31 cents, that should be 44 cents, right? Yeah, closed P&L, loss of 44 cents. So now my P&L is all accurate here. If we look at my dashboard for closed positions, closed P&L, I'm now down. I say, yeah, I've taken a loss here, and I'm now total P&L around 20 bucks. So I'm still in business. I didn't blow up my account yet. My maintenance and everything here should be better. Option buying power 26. Yeah, I think this is much higher than what I saw this morning. So I've freed up that $4,000. Yeah. Ah, what a relief. We're all done. Yeah, that was quite involved. This is probably the longest video ever on how to deal with assignment. I get really passionate about this stuff. Sometimes I probably ramble on. I'm explaining way more detail than it needs to be done. But have a good one. I wish you the best in trading, and I'm back to check the markets